with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, a mostly cloudy good morning to most of you. Some of you a little bit nicer than that. We do have some sun out there. Currently 62 degrees at the airport. It is 62 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is coming in at 64. They don't have the effects of the north wind like we do. Bay City is a little bit cooler. They're currently at 60 degrees. As we go through the remainder of the day, we are going to be looking at continuation of clearing of these skies. So later on this afternoon and into the evening hours, we not only will have plenty of sun, we should see a nice sunset, and then we're going to have some clear skies tonight. That'll let that temperature drop down at least into the middle 40s, if not a little bit cooler than that. Around the state right now, nobody is setting the world on fire. We're looking at low 60s in many locations, even down in Detroit. They're struggling to get up to about 65, and that's it. Started the morning off a little bit on the cool side, but not nearly as chilly as what we have seen so far. But we will, as I said before, see some pretty chilly temperatures. We owe all of it to a high-pressure system, which is gradually moving its way through into the Tennessee Valley basin. And as a result, we are going to begin to see a change in our wind direction, and that will signify a change in our temperature trend, because we'll have a north-northwest breeze, 7-8 miles per hour, and that's going to be about it. And then as we move into the evening hours, it'll decrease and then eventually change over to a little bit more westerly. And that will be because the high-pressure system will be moving into Tennessee, eastern Tennessee, southeastern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, down in that area. So eventually that wind will change from the north to the west after midnight tonight, and then the southwest during the day tomorrow, which will bring some lower humidities, and we'll begin to see a little bit more of a dry down with the lower humidities as well. Currently, it is 67%. Our barometric pressure is rising, again, a function of that high, 30.03. And we're going to be looking at some really mild temperatures. We should be, this time of the year, 73 in the afternoon and 51 at night. Tomorrow will come close. I think we'll make it up into the 70s, the low 70s anyway, 70, 71, 72 right in there. A little bit more in the way of sunshine to start the day off tomorrow. And then, as I said, we'll have a southwest wind, so that will indicate some drying taking place and some warmer air coming up in our direction. On Wednesday, we'll be under the full influence of that high. 76 is our projected high for Wednesday with clouds and sun. A warm front is going to be pushing up through the state, so that will push our temperatures even warmer as we finish the work week off. Lower humidities. There might be the chance, ever so slight, but a chance of a widely scattered sprinkle as that warm front moves up through the state. But the chances of that are going to be isolated at best. And I really don't think on your back porch you're going to see much of anything in the way of moisture on Wednesday. Thursday, mostly sunny skies, 80 degrees for a high. We'll drop down to about 58 for a low on Thursday. Then on Friday, we'll press that 80-degree mark once again with plenty of sun. Upper 70s to right around 80 on Saturday. And partly cloudy skies with temperatures about 76, 77 degrees on Sunday. All of this looks pretty good simply because we're not looking at a drop in our temperatures, which would signify a cold front moving through. We're not looking at any drop in those temperatures at least through this upcoming weekend. And the long-range outlook to take us all the way through the 1st of October is for temperatures to run above normal for this time of the year, precipitation pattern to be below. And a lot of folks obviously are looking for that below average precipitation trend. Chicago yesterday in the morning hours picked up more than 7 inches of rain in some areas around the city. And there was some very heavy rains in Indianapolis as well as in Cincinnati as we went through the daytime hours yesterday. We escaped all of that. Michigan's upper thumb, though, did pick up some heavy rains late Saturday night and early Sunday morning. We did have some indication of thunder, lightning, and little pea-size hail. Somewhere around 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain in some spots in Michigan's upper thumb in Huron County as we went into the early morning hours on Sunday. But everything dissipated and broke down, so none of that really made its way anywhere, except it drifted down into the lower thumb area as we went through the afternoon hours on Sunday afternoon. Some folks picking up traces of precipitation, 1 or 2 1/100ths of an inch, but a lot of the activity was along and east of the I-75 corridor as we went through the day yesterday. Record high in the state is 90, set back in 1955. The record low is 34, and that was set way back in 1916 and tied in 1943. The warmest ever, September the 18th, back in 1948. 86 was our high, 68 was our low. The coldest ever, September the 18th, was set back in 1929. 57 was our high, 35 was our low. A year ago today, 82 was our high, 67 was our low. We picked up about 1 1/100th of an inch of precipitation. Sun will set this evening at 7:41, rise tomorrow morning at 7:20. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, we've got Gary Kaufman at Star of the West, Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made easy. You know, they do take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts because they understand how your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. Well, a lot of times you've got that old tractor. You need to have it get some work done for you. Others of you, you want to show it off. Well, no matter what you want to do with that old tractor, 800-234-3280 is the number you go to if you need to get a part. Or you can go online at steinertractor.com. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Gary, I hope you had a nice weekend.
Good morning, Terry. Yes, I sure did, and hopefully you did as well. But, you know, for the Lion fans, maybe not so much. So.
Boy, that was pretty wild. Had a chance to go to a ball game. I don't go down there very often, but I've got two grandsons that wanted to go, and one of them was a Seattle Seahawks fan, and he was pretty happy.
Oh, well, you know, that's probably the reason why you probably took him down there, because you were probably hoping to teach him a lesson, but that didn't happen.
Well, the other one learned the lesson that many folks have learned for years.
Oh, yeah.
Don't expect very much from the Lions. It was a good game. It was a very good game. So, yeah. And very entertaining, and had a chance to see Barry Sanders and Megatron, Calvin Johnson, they were both there. And Wayne Fonts, the one of the winningest coaches in Lion history. So it was kind of neat. It was neat. Well, I hope the guys in Chicago had a good weekend.
Well, I don't know if they did or not, but there's a lot of red on the board here this morning, Terry. Unfortunately, last week, wheat kind of held its own. It was up 8 for the week. Corn was down 8 last week, and beans were down 23. And we went home Friday with up 11 on the wheat, down 4 in corn, down 21 on the soybeans. We're getting a lot of pressure on the corn and beans. Of course, harvest is winding up, and good week of weather it looks like we got coming. So we're going to see some harvest progress, and that's kind of weighing on the corn and the beans here. Export sales continue to be sluggish, Terry. We're selling some to China, but they're buying more from the South America group. So, but that's putting a lot of pressure on the market. And the wheat arena seems to be a little pressure related to a couple vessels are headed to Ukraine to load wheat, despite not having a Black Sea grain corridor agreement. So all those things got the market on the negative to start the week with. So
yeah. So right now, what do you got on the board?
Well, Terry, right now, let's call cash wheat down 12 at 542 on the white, 482 on the red. A new crop for next year down 11 at 631 on the white, 556 on the red. Cash and new crop corn down a nickel at 406, and cash and new crop soybeans down 20 at 1245.
Yeah. Well, I want to say it looks like the only way we can go is up, but I know better.
Yeah, it's funny. Last Friday we seen the lowest settlement on corn and beans since August 15th and August 17th, and we're making new lows here today, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks that way. Well, keep pulling at it, okay?
We'll tug of war with it.
There you go. Gary, have a good day, okay?
I will. You do the same. Thank
you. Bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Over to Oppenheimer we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. New Ram truck inventory is in Frankenmuth. So if you're in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or a Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, now is the time to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Market report also brought to you by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years. And now they've got 13 locations throughout Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, I had a gentleman ask me the other day about propane prices.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I imagine we can probably talk about it a little bit. And he says, well, just so that you know, in Texas right now, it's 69 cents.
Uh-huh. Go figure.
Yeah.
That's wholesale. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
instead of shipping all those migrants around, hook them up to hook a propane truck and bring it up here.
Bring it up here. Yeah. Yeah. We could handle that. Well, Gary Kaufman kind of set the bar here pretty low. Boy, those prices, we're getting taken up pretty good here.
Yeah. And crude oil's up $1. So, add insult to injury, 91 just about. So that's not pretty, but it goes back to what I said. It's billionaires controlling these markets, and when they get together, they just huddle up and they say everybody's selling, and then nobody's buying, and it just goes one way. Or if everybody's buying and nobody's selling, and it goes one way. And it doesn't matter what market you're in. It could be stocks, it could be bonds, it could be a stock, it could be commodities. It doesn't matter. Whatever they decide to do, they do. It is, it is what it is, and it's very hard to get in front of them because if it's going down, it's a falling knife, and if it's going up, it's up, yesterday. And what are you going to do? You're just sitting there going, "What just happened to me?" Kind of crazy. So that's the way I feel today. Looking at the market, going, it's kind of crazy. They have a Fed meeting on Wednesday, expecting very little chance of a Fed hike. on Wednesday, but it comes down to what he says after he says he's not going to raise interest rates Wednesday, because it's going to be, all right, is he going to do it in October? Is he going to go for December? Is he going to go for January? Who knows? So that's what they kind of sort of want to wait for and see what happens there. So anyway, here are your numbers. The December corn is 471 3/4, down 4.5. The March corn 486 1/2, down 4. November soybeans 1320, down 20 1/4. March soybeans 1346, down 19 1/2. December wheat 590 3/4, down 13 1/2. And March wheat is 616 3/4, down 12 3/4. Crude oil is 90.94, up 92 cents. Heating oil is 324.81, down 6 cents. Gasoline is 264.80, that is unchanged. And natural gas is 270 1/2, that is up 6.1 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3484 Canadian, that is down 39 ticks. The dollar buys 147.61 yen, that's down 21 ticks. The euro is at 106.96, that's up 41 ticks. The dollar is at 105.08, that's down 24 ticks. Gold is at $19.30.50, up $2.60. Silver is $23.35, that's down 3.5 cents. And platinum is at $937.60, up $8.10.
All righty. You have a good day. Talk to you later, Doug.
Will do.
All right. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Freeland Bean and Grain. Soil health is what it's all about. Now's the time to be taking care of that soil. Let's say you want to put some wheat in here this fall, or you want to really get everything squared around so you know what you need to do as you approach next spring. Well, the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain can help you. Vic Huffer is a certified crop advisor. Might be a very good idea to get in contact with him right now and find out what he is suggesting. Serving you since 1983. Where serving you is their business. It's Freeland Bean and Grain. If you recall, last week we were talking about Michigan's apple crop, and it looked as though pretty excellent, really, all across the state. And we mentioned that there were a couple varieties. We have a lot of varieties, but there were a couple of varieties, the Empire and the Jonathan, that were being harvested for taffy apples. Well, it's not like they have a lot of taffy apples, but I know that they do feature some apples that are covered over with all sorts of stuff. So I figured, let's slide over to Baines. And I've got a gentleman on the line with me right now, Sean Coughlin. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Morning, Terry. Happy Monday to you.
Yes, happy Monday to you. It is that time of the year. And as long as I can remember being here, Baines was a place that a lot of folks went, especially for their apples. Tell us a little bit about the Michigan apple crop that you're aware of, Sean.
I just walked around our apple room, Terry, and it's busting at the seams with Honeycrisp, with Galas, with Max, with Sweet Tango, which Sweet Tango is an apple that pretty much you're only going to find here at Baines in the Tri-Cities, and that's a long story with the different growers. There's only so many growers in the state, and luckily one of our growers is one that can grow the Sweet Tango apple. We're running out of Paula Reds and Ginger Golds, but we're going to be getting Cortlands and Smittens in by the end of this week. So the apple room just grows and grows and grows this time of year.
And the nice thing about it is with the different varieties, they keep coming in here for a good part of the fall and, quite frankly, right up to the holidays.
Yeah, and then, some of those apples make some pretty darn good cider. And some of those apples, like you said, make some great caramel apples. And you'll be able to find all you want here at the store.
And pies, too. And pie. I love those pies. Oh yeah.
We our fair share of a full area where you can get whatever goodies you want to get from the bakery.
Tell us a little bit more about the hours that you're open right now, Sean.
So Terry, Baines is open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 9 a.m. till 7. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, we're open from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. Sundays, 10 till 6.
And you're real easy to find, aren't you?
you know what, we're very blessed with the location on M47 Midland Road in Freeland. We have quite a few cars go by us every day.
Yeah, just north of Tittabawassee Road, for those folks that don't know, Baines Apple Valley Farm. A lot of folks know it very fondly, and it'll be a great time to reunite with a lot of those folks as we move into the fall season, Sean. And we'll be talking to you again here for the next few weeks, all right?
And we look forward to that, Terry. Thank you so much.
You're really welcome. Sean Coughlin with Baines Apple Valley Farm. Jerry Samalski joins us in a moment. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444.
The seasons change, but the chores never stop. It's time to gear up for fall with a John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Plenty of inventory and thousands in savings, like a 23-horse 1023E with loader for just $17,499. And right now at Hudson, get financing as low as 0% for 84 months on select models. Offer ends October 27th. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. A John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Your fall chores just got easier. HudsonInc.com.
Jerry Samalski joining us right now. Jerry, what should we be looking at right now?
Terry, a lot of people are looking at rust in their lawns right now. That's a fungal disease that when you mow your grass, it ends up leaving your lawnmower a rusty color, with some dust on it. Really not a lot you're going to do about it right now, Terry. Just don't worry about it. But if you want to help push it along, a little fertility sure wouldn't hurt. But the other thing I noticed too, unfortunately, fall doesn't come till Saturday, but I'm seeing crabgrass in lawns that are actually browning up and starting to go away even before a good frost. So that's another reason why you want to fertilize and take care of your lawn this fall, because as those holes open up where the crabgrass leaves, that's where you want to push the existing grass to fill in those voids. So fertilize this fall. Start now.
All righty. Jerry, you take care. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Got about a minute. I want to touch base here with Eric Sawatsky at Yo and Yo Accounting. Eric, real quickly, employer retention credits. What's going on with those?
Yeah, Terry, the IRS has temporarily halted processing of any new claims for this credit. So again, this was a credit from during the COVID period. If you kept people employed, you could get a credit against those wages paid. Even though that's still, the deadline for that hasn't passed, the IRS is putting that on hold because they're worried about a lot of fraud and abuse that's going on. So currently they're not taking any new claims. And if you've decided at this point that you really weren't eligible for a claim that's been put in, or you used a company that was pushing those, you can now actually request to withdraw your application rather than have to deal with that later.
All right.
So they're really looking at it right now.
All right. Good advice. Eric, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
You too, Terry.
All righty. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
from the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Peter King. 5 Americans held prisoner by Iran are in Doha after their release this morning.
Our fellow citizens are free after enduring something that I think it would be difficult for any of us to imagine.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken speaking moments ago.
I have no higher priority than making sure that Americans who are unjustly detained anywhere can come home.
And that's expected to happen shortly. Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The 5 will be flown from Doha to Washington, D.C., part of a complex deal with Iran that allowed for $6 billion in Iranian assets to be transferred from a restricted account in South Korea to Qatar. 5 Iranians in the U.S. will be granted freedom, some of whom were not convicted.
And more on them from CBS's Margaret Brennan.
Biden administration officials described the 5 Iranians who would be released as nonviolent offenders who mainly violated sanctions. And I spoke with one of them who is remaining here in the U.S., Kaveh Lotfallah Afrasiabi, a political scientist charged with acting as an unregistered foreign agent. He is a U.S. permanent resident and tells CBS News he'll remain living in Massachusetts.
Hunter Biden is suing one of the government agencies that's been investigating him. Here's CBS's Scott McFarland.
This lawsuit from Hunter Biden is against the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. He alleges they violated his privacy when 2 agents testified about his personal tax details during congressional hearings and interviews.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrives in the U.S. to go to the UN General Assembly and meet President Biden, and no doubt they'll be talking about one big problem he left back home in Israel. CBS's Linda Gradstein is in Jerusalem.
Thousands of protesters continued to demonstrate against the Israeli government's judicial overhaul. Protester Anat Rafaeli.
I'm here along with thousands of other people who are all very worried about the democracy of our country.
Netanyahu sparked a growing outcry when he accused protesters of, quote, joining forces with the PLO in Iran in their activities. Netanyahu will meet President Biden in New York and speak to the UN on Friday. Linda Gradstein for CBS News, Jerusalem.
Pennsylvania State Police say that they've recaptured 9 juvenile offenders who escaped from a detention center after a riot in Morgantown, Pennsylvania last night. Minnesota Twins manager Rocco Baldelli is about to become the father of real-life twins. His wife, Allie, is expected to give birth to twin boys in the next few days. And with the baseball Twins safely leading the American League Central Division, Baldelli has taken paternity leave to see the birth of the new twins. Wall Street, the Dow is up 90 points. This is CBS News.
When you think of hiring, think of Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.